Factsverse presents. When the neighbors complained about a headstone for a 4-year-old child, authorities did something tremendously heartless. Before we get into this heartless story, how about you have a heart and click that like button? And also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Okay, be prepared for this story to make your blood boil, whether or not you're a parent. A young woman from the town of Malvern, Worcestershire in the United Kingdom by the name of Jo Corbett Weeks was already living every parent's nightmare. Just a few short weeks ago, she had lost her 4-year-old son. No parent wants to have the responsibility of burying one of their own children, and Weeks was understandably inconsolable after losing her child. Scraping together the money to put together a headstone that would honor her child, who had never had a real shot at leading the kind of happy, healthy, and long life so many of us take for granted, Weeks was already dealing with one significant challenge and the emotional roller coaster that comes with it, and she was thrown another curveball. A neighborhood family had brought up an issue with the tribute that she had arranged for her child, bringing the topic up at a local council meeting and tasking the town committee with doing something about what they considered to be a, quote, unsightly addition to the local landscape, unquote. Young Max, the 4-year-old boy that had passed away, died after suffering from significant complications that had been brought on by his severe epilepsy. This was a medical condition that Max had been born with, a complication that he fought with every day of his life. It's a debilitating condition, and it only made it worse after he developed dystonia, which is a muscle disorder that made life even more challenging for this young lad. After his passing, Miss Weeks decided to put up a small and modest headstone, as that was all she could afford at that particular point in time. However, she did continue to scrape and pinch every penny possible from her second job at a local tavern, making sure that she was going to be able to save up enough money to give Max the kind of tribute he truly deserved, a tribute that would be fitting for the fight that he had had against those two debilitating conditions. It took 3 years to get up enough money to purchase the kind of memorial that would be fitting for this young little warrior whose life was cut too short, and the plan was for the new memorial to be ready for installation at his gravesite for what would have been Max's 7th birthday. And that's where things get a little bit crazy. The memorial headstone had been selected by Max's mother, and it was simply a black star with a teddy bear behind, in relief, flanked on both sides by an angel. A small poem was engraved in the center of the star, and information about his short life was provided there as well. The headstone went up without issue on Max's birthday, but a few days later, after a phone call was made by the stonesmason that had worked to create the memorial and set it up, he told Miss Weeks that he was being instructed to take it down and remove the headstone at the behest of the owners of the cemetery on orders of the local town council. Stunningly, the only response from local officials as to why the headstone was ordered to be removed was because a single local family had raised an issue with a local government official. Apparently, they owned a plot in the vicinity of where Max's burial site is positioned and didn't want a headstone in the region that was so different in style and aesthetics compared to all of the other headstones that had already been placed. Either ignorant of the backlash that they would cause or steadfast in their adhesion to some unwritten rules, the local town council also went on the record to state that they would not have given permission for this memorial to have been erected in the first place if they knew that it wasn't going to match with other headstones. Obviously, public pressure is mounting to change this ruling and allow a distraught mother to memorialize the son that she lost in any way she sees fit. There is no happy news to report on this story, at least not yet, but it's unlikely that these officials are going to be able to weather the PR storm that they've caused based off a singular complaint by some local busybodies. Subscribe for more.